Yo, yo, yo!
What up? Uh-oh, that we gotta turn that off. That cannot happen right now.
Robin's got a new bestie.
I got a new bestie?
Yeah.
I got like 10 new besties.
You got 10 besties.
I got like some awesome people on this channel thing we got going on here.
Channel thingy?
Yeah,
channel thingy
that we've got going on. Got some really cool stuff happening.
Got some cool stuff.
Alright, Teresa.
What's up, Teresa? Old ways. Kitty.
Mike Miller. I hadn't seen Mike in a while.
Nice to meet you, Mike.
Meet ya? He's been in
It
before.
was a joke.
Oh.
Because he hasn't been around in a while.
Oh, yeah.
With a J, it's okay.
Okay, in the middle. Got it. Hello, Ava. Hi, Joyce.
Ava.
Hey,
Woo.
Simply Circus.
Simply, what's up? Y'all get to see us with our late night attitude.
Winter
See,
bass. Man, Scratch Maid's here. Alright.
It's the only legal way to have this much fun with your clothes on. Can we get some ice, please, sir?
Yes.
'Cause this thing is boiling.
Uh-oh. J.S. Farms, I hope he meant to say hello instead of hell from Missouri.
All right, y'all. We're gonna let everybody get over and get done talking over there at Tommy's and come on over.
Big, where are you guys in Georgia?
Have you ever heard of the Guidestones? If you have, we're right there.
Paratrooper said it used to be nothing good happens after midnight. Now it's 8 p.m.
What you trying to say, man?
No, nothing good happens till after 8.
Oh, till after 8. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I take that back.
That's right. LOL, Palmetto. Mr. Dirt's in here. Hey,
What's up, Mr. Dirt?
Sorry you guys were having trouble earlier. I know that had to be frustrating.
Oh, you know it was frustrating.
We've been there. It happened. If it's any consolation,
Everybody's been having that trouble this
everybody
week.
all weekend long has been having. I mean, it
We got
started
kicked
with
off
us.
twice. It just, boom, kicked us right off. Bloop.
Of course, all of the people that were in our chat would know that we all thought it was a government conspiracy.
Yeah, because we were talking about raw milk. It was
Wayne's
Illuminati.
in the house.
What up, Wayne?
Hey,
Wayne, brother, you got to give some people some time.
Deep
Like,
South.
yo, I'm going to go live on this date. So that way we can check out your live stream.
Hey, Mr. Dirt, you might want to check out with
Check
living.
your email first.
No,
Check
with
your email.
living. Go to Living on a Dime and
Check your
talk
email.
to Mike. Because Mike knows a lot about how YouTube and Facebook talk.
They don't talk. They hate
They
each
don't
other.
talk really well together. So definitely check it out with him. He has figured out how to make them work. So if
Thank you,
you want to do it that way, definitely give him a holler.
Oh, I wouldn't holler at him. That'll start it off on bad
He'll
terms.
be more than happy to help.
All right. We got a good bit in here?
Wayne said he knows it was a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah, well, I'm still
Uh-oh.
upset. What?
They're talking trash. Gamecocks are going to beat up UGA this year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure.
We hear that every year.
Hear that every
Jay
year.
Wallace, hello. He says he's new.
Hey, Jay, how's it going?
West Tennessee. Hey, Karen. Nice to see you. We got your email. Thank you. It was a beautiful message. Thanks.
You made me cry.
Yeah, he had a couple tears in his eye, and it wasn't from the buffalo chicken salad that he ate today.
Oh. No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Wow. Nothing is
Anna
sacred.
says hello. Hey, Anna.
Hi, Anna. Love you.
Wayne said don't be mad. He'll make it up to you.
You better make it up to me with some propane parts. Okay, hey, if y'all normally come and watch us just about every chance we get on, like on Mondays, hey, raise your hand for us, please, so we know that we got most of y'all in there.
Yeah, all the people that usually come on Mondays to see us. Okay, JRC Homestead said, sent you a message on the raccoons. David has staked the cage tonight, so we hope we catch them.
Yeah, I answered that. So if you want to answer me, I don't know. Are you talking about you answering me back from me answering you?
All right, everybody.
Or
you got a lot of people that said that they caught it this past week. Okay.
Okay.
So if you watched earlier tonight, Brad announced that which one?
There's
Freedom Acres.
Freedom Acres is going to be going on. at Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the only slot they were able to do. So we're going to move to Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Will be Tuesday at 8. So we're going to change it to Tuesday.
Still come to YouTube on Mondays at 8 and go check out Freedom Acres. And then we'll be back Tuesday at 8 for our second day.
Right.
Okay?
Okay, so
alright.
Alright, so the run of the mill, first things first. Questions in caps.
Yep.
Please.
Questions in caps, please.
Let's see.
Okay, so tonight, in honor, I was gonna have a fire hat on, but my daughters broke their fireman hat, and so I couldn't wear. I wanted to wear a fireman's hat in honor of Joe. He's out. I think he's either working tonight or he's out fighting some of them fires out there near California or something.
Right.
So I was gonna wear a fireman's hat in honor of him. But in honor of him, we're gonna talk tools.
And real quick before we get started, yes, Grandpa's going to be on Thursday.
Yes,
before Big Family Homestead's Tech Talk. So 7 o'clock, I believe.
Yes.
So definitely check him out. He's full of information. Okay. They haven't seen your message.
Who? JR?
Yeah.
Okay, I just posted it like an hour ago.
Yes, Teresa, that's uppercase caps. Thank you. They'll check after the show.
Okay.
Teresa, firefighter here as well. Tools, presidential candidate.
I'm not going there. As bad as I want to, I'm not going there.
No, we're not in Big Bear, California. That's just the name of our homestead. We're in Georgia. Chuck Cole.
Okay, how we got our name. I'm a United States Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. And during one of my tours, I was my roommate, if that's what you want to call it, roommate, battle buddy, was full-blooded Navajo. And I got to meet his family, and his mom said that my personality was like a big old bear entering the room. So that's what my Indian name was Big Bear. So to honor him, we named our homestead Big Bear Homestead, and when my trapping service was up and running, it was Big Bear's Trapping Service.
Oh, Palmetto Paratrooper.
What? Muscles
are required, intelligence not expected. For Marine, for the acronym.
That's original. That's the first time I heard that one.
Yeah, okay.
No, it is. That's the first time I heard one. That was.
Muscles are required, intelligence not expected. Well, just because it's not expected doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well.
He said, "I love Marines," though.
I know. We all do. Everybody loves Marines.
You better.
But. What?
Nothing.
What?
She wanted to know if we got her email on the
Oh, okay. Anyway, so let's talk tools.
Army aren't real men yet.
That one I've heard before. Wasn't gonna bring that up. I was gonna have a bunch of my cordless stuff in here, but another thing. Time out. Back up. If we drop off at all tonight, we'll do our best to try to come back on, but there's a pretty good storm brewing outside. Thunder, lightning, drizzling rain. Well, it's not really drizzling rain, but that's how the cadence goes. Anyway. So, but I don't have any of my cordless tools here. But I will tell everybody this. I am a Ryobi guy. I love my Ryobi tools, and this is one of the main reasons. I used to have an 18 volt DeWalt, and when I was in the peak of doing my Nuco stuff, the batteries wouldn't last that long, and it seems like if you blew on it, it would just fall apart. So finally, somebody said, you're not spending all that money on another drill that's just going to fall apart. Get a cheaper one. So we went to Ryobi. And I dropped that puppy off at the top of a 32-foot ladder. I dropped it in the middle of a beaver pond, pulled it out, let everything dry out, slapped the battery back in there, and that drill worked for another 6 years.
You got a lot of people who are DeWalt fans.
Yeah. So, sorry, my 18-volt Ryobi spun an 18-volt DeWalt. I'm a Ryobi guy. I'm sorry. That's just me. And maybe I just bought a couple of crappy DeWalts, but I haven't bought a crappy Ryobi yet.
And Palmetto said he had just the opposite experience. I guess his DeWalts worked great, but Ryobi's didn't.
Yeah.
Ryobi is Big Bear's Pokemon name.
Who said that?
Bumblebee. Kitty, if you pay attention during Black Friday, you can afford a Ryobi.
Mm-hmm.
Ryobi's go on sale a lot.
Yeah, they're dirt cheap on Black Friday. And they got their new impact driver out, and the battery is thinner. That thing is a beast. Now, I've even branched out into some of their corded items. The only well, let me rephrase that. I lied. We did come across a hunk of junk of Ryobis the one time. Is when they tried to branch out with the 18-volt stuff, and they made a weed whacker. The weed whacker we got was just trash. So I did tell a story. I did have one trashy Ryobi thing, and that was that stinking weed whacker. But then again, to also counterbalance that, it was the last one that our Home Depot had, and so we got it at a discount because it was the open box.
Mm-hmm.
So it might have been beat.
Now, to be fair, Grandpa's talking about a DeWalt that's like 1958. Paratrooper, I don't know about you, but you might be talking about older models. We're talking like 2007, 2008. Those models were horrible. At least for what
From our
we
experience,
used them.
yeah.
So,
but that, like I said, that's me. I know as guys, we find a brand and it's almost like it's our girl. We'll stick with it. Like with other tools, I'm a Craftsman guy.
yeah.
My dad was a Craftsman man. My grandfather was a Craftsman man, and it just kind of tinkered on, passed it on.
Okay.
You know. Now, but I hate Sears, and I'm so thankful that Ace has picked up the gauntlet for Craftsman, because there's not enough money in the world for me to step into a Sears, and this is why. When I was young buck,
Yeah.
I had my Sears credit card because before I was thinking about joining the Marine Corps, I was going to follow in my dad's footsteps, because after my dad got out of the Corps, he became a small engine mechanic and worked at the Augusta National Golf Club. And all I had to do was go to this school down in Florida, and then I'd have been right in the door at the Augusta National. But as a young teenage boy, I really wanted to get away from my dad. I wanted to make it on my own. And so I joined the Corps like him, because he told me I'd never be able to make it, and blah, you know that whole story. Anyway, so I paid that credit card that I had off early, and they tried to hit me with a paying it off early fee. And I told him, I said, you just lost me basically forever. Fast forward 20 years, I get married to somebody, and we had to shop. We were still freshly married. I was still kind of like, okay, whatever you want.
You were never like that.
She was like, ooga, pregnant.
Yeah.
And we needed a washing machine, a dryer, and a new fridge.
All at one time.
All at one time. And so we were going everywhere. And these were the words out of my mouth to every salesperson that we talked to, because we started with the washer and dryer. And I just went up to him, and we started at like Best Buy.
Right.
We went up to him, and I said, I need a washing machine that can handle every pair of jeans or towels that we own in one load. And then I'm going to need the dryer that goes along with it. I don't care what it costs. I thought that saying that was relatively simple, but we went to Best Buy, Target, where else did we go? We went to a bunch of different stores.
Not Target.
I thought, well, what
Sears.
No, Sears is where we ended.
Oh, H.H. Gregg.
H.H. Gregg. No. Did we go to H.H. Gregg? No, we did not go to H.H. Gregg.
Because it was right across the street from Best Buy. I thought we did. But anyway.
Anyway, we went to a bunch of different stores, and she finally said, well, let's just go look at the Sears one. I said, I really don't want to step foot in there. She's like, well, come on. And you know how they get, fellas, when you don't really have a choice anymore, you know how they get. And so we went to Sears, and the salesman's name is Walter. Was Walter. That was really his name, and I don't care about saying it now because he don't work there anymore. I said that to him, and he was all over it. And so he took us to this one. He said, this is the biggest, the baddest Mama Jamma on the block. She doesn't own enough towels or jeans to put this one. I said, I need the dryer to go with it. And he pointed us to the dryer. And then I said, okay, Walter, I need a fridge. And this is where that man should have stopped and handed us over to the fridge guy. Because he wasn't a fridge guy, he was a washer and dryer guy. But all he was seeing was commission. And roundabout way, I can't blame him. So, of course, I didn't change the stipulations, and he took us this big, beautiful commercial refrigerator.
Like $3,000.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Beautiful,
but it would have never fit in our house. And so I said, well, Walter, we got to tone that down a little bit. That won't even fit in the house. Make a long story short, we bought all three of them, paid cash, blam blam.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. Did the guaranteed delivery and installation, which was a joke. I won't even get onto that. But within 2 days, the refrigerator broke. And so we called them up, and they were extremely nasty on the phone. They were like, well, we close in 5 minutes. We don't care.
Yeah, it was a Friday, yeah.
You have to call us back in the morning. And I said, okay. And so we decided we just going to go down there. And so we went down there Saturday morning. Now, keep in mind, my wife is gaguga pregnant.
Yeah,
like,
huge.
Like, I could put my plate for dinner on her belly and ate. She looks at me and she goes, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Let me go in and do this by myself. Okay. She goes in. Then, like 5 or 6 minutes, she comes out and she's crying.
I mean, I was in major tears because we didn't have a whole lot. I mean, we had the cash for all of the stuff, but we weren't like rolling in money. We had saved up that money to do this, and we had a full refrigerator and freezer. And the whole reason, the big part was actually the refrigerator was huge because we had food that was going to spoil, and we needed to make sure that it was going to work. And then that was...
So she came out crying. And I was like, no. And so I walked in and I come around the vacuum cleaners and I went, Walter! And his little head popped up from behind the dryer. And I said, go get that stinking manager that told my wife it wasn't his problem. And so this scrawny little white guy kind of stuck his head out around like this. And I said, you the manager? He said, yeah. And you know, I kind of jumped on him. Maybe I jumped on him a little bit hard in the beginning. But he started to walk away from me, so I followed him. And we went down around the tires, came up around the TVs, and came back. And
steadily talking.
I was steadily talking to him, boy.
The whole way.
And
and of course, I'm in the corner at this point, like.
And so we come back up to where we started from, and he's like, "Okay, I'll talk to you now." And I said, look, on the walkabout, you didn't hear anything I said? He said, we are not going to do anything. It's your problem. I said, oh, okay. And there was, you know how when you bring stuff back to Sears and they fix it and then they sell it at a lower price and they put it in the center aisle? I got up on one of those dryers and I clapped my hands together 3 or 4 times.
And
it was
you already said it was a Saturday, but this was
packed.
This was around Christmas time, so there was people everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it was packed by then.
And so I got everybody's attention. It was like I was a politician. And I proceeded to tell them how Sears
their guarantee means
they
nothing.
treated my pregnant wife and how their guarantee is nothing because we even paid for the extra guarantee where they were supposed to pay for the food. And about that time, here comes mall security.
Which was hilarious.
And I'm steadily talking, and the mall security guard was like, well, you need to get down, Mr. Real. And I'm like, no, I'm not done talking. And I kept on talking. And the man grabbed my leg.
Grabbed you by the ankle.
Yeah, and I snatched my ankle back, and I leaned down to him. I said, you touch me again, I'm going to show you what 10 years in the Marine Corps taught me. And I stood back up and started talking. He said, we're going to call Richmond County. I said, call them. Because there's not a cop in Richmond County that I haven't played football with or I don't drink beer with on a regular basis. And so they called, and sure enough, here come our old offensive tackle, Edwin Ackernite. Came in the mall, and he looked at me and said, Rear, get down.
How did I know it was you,
How did
Rear?
I know? Get down. So we walked outside, we told him. He goes, just leave, I'll handle it. And about that time, Walter grabbed my wife, took her around. They brought another one to the house. That one didn't work. And the next one didn't work.
We went through 4.
Yeah, make a long story short, we went through 4 of them before we finally got a guy on the phone that was the refrigerator guy.
Because that was the first thing he said. He was like, who sold you the refrigerator? And I told him, and he is like, okay, that was the first problem. He doesn't know anything about refrigerators. If you've been dealing with me, I would have never let you even buy that refrigerator because they were having recalls constantly about it.
And so we got the new fridge that we got now out in the shop, and it's still working today. But just happened to go through all of that headache. Now, that story being said, we made a deal one time with some people we bartered down in Augusta when we were raising pigs.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't really afford the pigs, but he had a whole bunch of tools he didn't use anymore.
Oh.
Well, he had an old Craftsman air compressor. And this was really before Ace kind of took over the gauntlet. So I had to go back in there because I needed a different plug. It had the old sideways one for the ground. And so I went in there, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm looking. And then this huge dark green dude came over. Whoa! Came over, and he said, Mr. Rear. And I went,
how do you know me?
how do you know me? He goes, oh, there's a training video about you in Sears. He said, I'm the new, they don't know it yet, but I'm the new district manager, and I'm glad that you came in today. He said, but I'm trying to do a grassroots movement through here. He goes, I've already fired like 12 people. And I said, okay. And he said, so what do you need today? And I told him, and he said, you got it with you? And I said, yeah, it's in the back of the truck. I went out to the truck. He said, take it off the truck. So he took that off the truck, and he brought out the big air compressor, that big like $900,000 job that's got the 2 in it. He gave me that. We swapped. And he also gave me a 3rd box for my toolbox for like $35.
And I got a camera too, remember?
Oh yeah, and you got the camera too. So, but long story short, the camera was buzzed down a lot, and it was one of the few ones that they were discontinuing. That's why we got it cheap. But the problem with Sears is they don't really honor warranties, so that's why I don't go to Sears. But I get my I still get my Craftsman's, but I get them at Ace Hardware and stuff now. But the thing with, at least with guys, like I was saying earlier, we find a brand that we like, and then we stick with it until it basically
does you wrong.
Kind of like a girl, it cheats on us.
Well, it's like that Ryobi string trimmer is crap. Like,
Yeah.
Paratrooper was saying the same thing. That that's not the first time he's heard that.
About what?
And some about the string trimmer not being good. And the thing is that sometimes, you should stick with what you know.
Yeah.
And to me, there are some things you just should never branch out into. And, that's,
we tried that string trimmer because one, it was cheaper than a gas operated one, and plus I was going like, okay, well, Ryobi hasn't done me wrong yet, but and like we have branched out to their corded items too. I've got their chop saw with a slide, working great, love it. I got their drill press, working great, love it. Got their router, working great, love it. I also got their table saw. I like it, but the fence on it sucks. And the table's it's just not big enough. Now I know it's just with that little 10-inch one, but the table's not very good. But that thing is a beast. We've had it almost a decade.
What is it?
The table saw.
Yeah, but almost 10.
Yeah.
10 years.
The stand is still solid, and everything is still working, and it's just so it has its trade points. What?
Yeah, Bumblebee said, "I hear you, Big Bear. Lowe's almost lost a department manager over our hot water heater. Pretty close to the same. I woke up to Tina flustered, so I paid the store a visit." Yeah, I can imagine that went probably about the same because you guys sound like you're pretty protective the same way.
Look, when you go in there and you drop the kind of cash money that we dropped, I'm not saying you need to roll out the red carpet for me, but when you got the manufacturer's warranty, and then we paid the extra money for the food protection warranty.
Yeah, I mean,
looking at my wife and telling her it's not your problem when we've only had it 3 days is not an acceptable. That's incompetence to me, and I don't handle that well.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's just that whole situation was just...
The guy that was wearing the white shirt didn't need to be wearing a white shirt. He got promoted, I think, because he was like the last one in the stores on. I don't know. But it was just one of those situations that I had to get ugly, and I don't like getting ugly. But
one thing, Wayne had a good comment. He said, "I know that that Harbor Freight doesn't have great tools, but for my budget, it's worked well." I will tell. I kind of feel the same way. There are some things.
There's some things that of theirs that is built like a tank. Like I got a framing nail gun. Like a tank. I don't know why they changed it. Now it's heavy as all get out, but tank. I've had it 11 years now. That framing nail gun.
No, we bought it when we were about 10.
About 10?
Yeah.
10, 11? I know we got it right about the time we got the air compressor.
Yeah,
I've had to change the back gasket on it, and that was it. I just ripped that cardboard gasket out, and I put just the blue gasket sealing stuff. And it's still, my son, in all of his teenage brilliance, thought it would be cool to try to shoot a squirrel with a nail gun, and the fool hit it. Got it. So he cleaned it and ate it, but he killed a squirrel with his nail gun. But the only thing that frustrates me about it is since Harbor Freight changed nail guns, it's hard to find the nails that go into that nail gun.
Yeah.
But some of their other things, you're lucky to get them home before they bust. Like they had, when we were doing our Nuco stuff, we bought that plumber's scope, scope camera, because we were the only guys in the state of Georgia at that time that were pulling honeybees out of homes that were in folks' walls alive. And so we were using it to scope the wall to make sure before we started pulling big holes in drywall
Right.
if that was it. It lasted 2 jobs.
Yeah,
It was junk. I heard a lot of people say that their greenhouses are trash.
But I have heard that their solar sucks.
Yeah.
We heard that before, but then Go for Green told
Go
us
for Green
also.
told him, I said, well, what about the solar panels at Harbor Freight? And he said, all right, this is what you do. You got to take those up
Go
to your
up to
tallest,
the top of the roof.
to your tallest building and throw it
Throw
off.
them off. Although his delivery was much better. You're just doing it for quickness, but he was so detailed. He's like, okay, so you got to do this, and then but it was funny. He's like, and then just throw it off the side of the house.
Throw it off the side of the house. But
and you know, this is the thing that everybody is saying is that the stuff that's made nowadays is made to break. It really
Yes.
is. We had a TV. When I met Jason, he had already had it for several years.
I bought it in Japan.
We still have it. It still works. But the TVs and stuff nowadays, they last for a few years and they're done.
Case in point, we had to get a new printer today because the one that we have, this Kodak one that we have, was working great, but all of a sudden it just stopped talking to the computers and we don't know why. So we just said, went and got a new one. I mean, we had all of our computer friends that are computer geeks look at it and say, man, I don't know. So we went and got a new one today. And so we got this one good salesman at Best Buy. I mean, I feel that he was being 100% honest with us.
Yeah.
As best, you know.
He could, right?
You know, as best he could without probably getting himself in trouble. And he pointed us to this printer and he said, look, this is for what you want to do with it. This is your best option. He said, okay. And he said, now, let me tell you what to do. He said, a lot of people won't buy our protection plan. But you need to buy the protection plan. Because every printer that I have in here, at best, will only last a year and a half, 2 years. Our protection plan goes for about 2 years. We don't ask any questions. The printer's broken, you bring it in, we take it, we hand you a new one. The protection plan was $20.
No, it was $9.99. That's the whole reason I got it, because it was $10. I was like,
Oh, I thought he said it was going to be like 15, 20.
no, that's what he did say that. But when we got up there, it was only $10.
Oh.
I was like, yeah, absolutely.
So we bought that. So if it does break in the last year and a half, 2 years, we get a new one. Mama's.
I'm cold.
then
You
what's
got
wrong
the
with
AC on.
off?
No, because I know if I turn the AC off, it'll get hot in here. I'm just cold.
Mama made this, y'all. She made this.
Leave it alone. It's just a quit.
She made that. I take that to the deer stand with me when I'm taking my girls with me because it's a big cloak is what it is. And one, it'll help hide the human form, but two, when I got a little chunky monkey or a little spunky monkey with me and they're talking about, Daddy, I'm cold, I can wrap that blanket around them. Most of the time then they go to sleep because it's got fleece on the outside and flannel on the inside.
Yep.
Mega warm. Probably too warm for Georgia, but puts the two little girls to
I'll
sleep.
tell you, it is. It is really nice. I'm not bragging on myself. It's just, it was not difficult to make. It's time consuming because there's a lot of panels to put together. But I'll tell you, it's nice. Okay, so let's see. I don't know if I could do a video. Maybe. But I don't know.
She needs to make me one for spring,
Yeah, I do need to make him a spring
so she
one,
can do a video on it.
because this one and that one probably won't it won't take as long to make, but this one, it was very time consuming because I had to make each panel twice and put it all together. So
She is amazing behind the sewing machine. Like the pants I'm wearing right now, she made them. The cloak, she made.
Well, I'm a firm believer, and I've kind of gotten our kids into doing this too, is that some of the best gifts you get are stuff you take time to make and you give to people, because you're not just giving them a gift, you're giving them your time in your thought process. You know, so
as soon as I get some coonskins tanned, she's gonna be making a hat for a certain homesteader.
yes, I wear aprons. I do need a serger.
A what?
A serger. It's a special
What's a serger?
sewing thing.
So how many? Okay, I said Ryobi.
Does she have a single sister? No.
Who said that?
Casey Chapman.
That just
Okay, so I'll definitely do. I guess I need to do.
I had to grab that before it got out.
I need to do a video apparently, and also Yankee Forces. I need a coon hat. Okay, so we are gonna do that. We've got a couple I need to make. Apparently, we got to get the hides tanned, and once they're tanned and ready to go, I'll make one or two.
We're making one for somebody's belated birthday / Christmas present, and then he's going to sport it around on his homestead. I want to see him wear it in summertime too.
No. Oh, I imagine that was gonna be hot.
But we're making it for Danny down there at Deep South. He already knows, so
Right.
I don't even know why I'm trying to be incognito.
I don't know either.
But Danny promised me he was gonna wear it in a bunch of videos. So, but my thing is I brain tan, so, and I was gonna, all the coonskins that I have hanging, I was gonna send them all off to the market, but the market went, and I'm not letting my furs go for what? I mean, $1 for a coon hide. You must
Yankee
be
said he'll
smoking
trade
crack.
you for some of his ammo.
What?
A
Trade me
coon-
what? A
coon
coonskin cap? Well, most of these hides that I got now that are stretched and dried are going to a fella that I met on the barter group for his table saw. But I don't know when I'm going to be able to go get that, since the truck blew a freeze plug yesterday.
Okay, hold on. I'm supposed to stand up and show this real quick. Okay, so you can't really see it real well, but it's like this, and this comes over the head. Boop, boop, boop. But it's not made for me. It's for Jason, so it's not as, it's bigger. But
For
it
my
goes,
green arrow fetish.
But it goes like, it's like out here. Like, I can't even show. Like, you see how long it is? And then it's lined on the inside as well. So it's got flannel on the inside.
And even Apollo likes it.
Yeah, the dog likes it too. So, anyway, that's it.
But basically, think about me, and then think about both my girls, and I can wrap them up in it, and they sit in the buddy stand with me right here. And so far, thank God, no deer has ever come by when both of them been there all snuggled up to me, because there was no way I'd have been able to get a shot off. But I just sit out there and we watch the morning with the girls, and that's some of the best times right there.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'll take orders. If you want one, just email me.
those things are expensive, y'all.
Yeah, they're a little pricey, but it's just because of the amount of fabric you need. You need a lot of fabric. So just hit me up through email. bigbearfarms@hotmail.com, and we'll go from there. So, all right. The force with you shall be. Wayne is funny. Alright, so
How did you take my tool show and turn it into a sewing show?
I don't know, because somebody saw my cloak. I need some jammy pants. Okay, look, I'll do any of that kind of stuff. So y'all just gotta hit me up and let me know.
Who said they wanted jammy pants?
That's Go for Green. So you know I got a special place in my heart for them.
I ain't gonna ask him like that on live TV.
Was the oily prepper, was that to me about liking essential oils? Because I absolutely love essential oils. Oh, Kitty, maybe it was Kitty. Because Kitty loves essential oils too. She and I talked about that. Okay, so back to your tools.
Oh, we get to talk about
yes,
tools
we get
again?
to talk to your tools. Talk about your tools.
I
Go ahead,
know.
talk
Joe
about
is
your
probably sitting at the firehouse right now on the back of a fire truck going,
Really?
He started out really good talking about tools, and she swooped in, and now they're talking about something. Oh, you just gonna type it in there now and just make it better, huh? Okay, we talked. So what is everybody's... Alright, guys. I know I got a couple of DeWalt guys in there, but is there anybody else? Do we have any, got any Black & Decker guys? Do we got any, Milwaukee?
Yankee wants to know if you reload ammo. Not yet.
I wish.
How about chainsaws, honey?
What about them?
What do you use?
I use a Husqvarna. Husqvarna. But I'm not 100% happy with them. And not the chainsaw itself, but the bars. You got to get an aftermarket bar on your Husqvarna, because it seems like if you stare at it too hard, it bends.
Ryobi or Makita, steel chainsaw, steel. A lot of people are saying steel.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking about switching to steel. Because I heard they're just a beast.
Makita saws are awesome. Any old-fashioned non-electric tools.
Who said that?
Oh, that's Beth Grant DeRuse. Husky, doing okay for me so far. Black & Decker drill from 1969. See, that's back when they made stuff that lasts.
Yeah.
Okay, Paratrooper's got a good point. I've noticed one company will make great saws and crappy everything else, and then make great drills, everything else. Steel, a lot of people are saying steel. So
maybe I can go buy a steel chainsaw.
get the steel, the commercial steel, not the box store ones.
So I got to get that online?
Yeah, that's what Paratrooper was saying, order online.
I want to get the one like Wrangler Star that's got like the 60-inch bar on it. And then when my kids are messing up, take the chain off, kick their door in, and just wing, wing, wing.
Okay, so let's do this. Call the tool and let everybody tell their brand of that tool.
Okay, let's call the tool and tell me your brand. Okay. Circular saws, corded or battery? I'm Ryobi.
He said you can get it from the Steel Service Center.
Okay.
Mattel.
That had to be go for me.
No, that was Wade's. Okay, Makita.
Makita.
DeWalt. Corded DeWalt. Black & Decker.
So mine's a corded Ryobi. I don't really like the
Makita, DeWalt.
The cordless on the Ryobi is good for small stuff, 2x4s and stuff, but anything else you got to get the corded one. That's just probably just with everybody's, because their blades are so stinking small.
Basic Salumi says steel is good but cannot get parts after model's out of date. We've run into that with some other stuff too.
Check this out. This'll... Where did we get that stinking lawnmower? Home Depot or Walmart? Home Depot, wasn't it?
I think so.
We bought a self-propelled walking lawnmower. And because our tractor went out, it's a 1954 Ford, and I'm working with Amanda's Garden. As soon as I can get the video out there to them, they're going to try and help me figure out some vacuum lock or something, I'm thinking. But this thing was a beast. My son was in that, he went through that 2-3 week stage where he tried everything humanly possible to get in trouble and stay in trouble. So I made him push mow like an acre and a half up to the front of the property, and I let it get high. And worked like a champ. He got that thing done a lot faster than I was anticipated, and so I had to come up with more things for him to do. But he happened to get tangled up in some vines, thorns or something, and there's this little tiny plastic piece on the carburetor which controls the exhaust. It snapped. This stupid little plastic piece that you should be able to buy aftermarket for 25 cents to maybe $1. No. You gotta buy a whole new carburetor. And not only do you have to buy the whole new carburetor, but you gotta have a connection with Toro to be able to get it. I had to call my dad and say, Dad, nobody can find this part. I can't believe that you just can't find this part. And the reason why is Toro went to a China motor. A Chinese carburetor, because I think it's a brazen strap. Anyway, I don't remember what motor is on this thing. But my pops had to get his hookup through Toro to get us a new carburetor from the factory. So it was just blows my mind how they do that. You know, it was like how Brad was saying in his videos, the 2 videos that he put out about saving money, and about how trying to fix things to 1, save on money, but 2, also to save on filling up landfills and stuff. It's like they are purposely making things now that you can't do that. Just like automobiles, the shade tree mechanic is almost dead and gone because they've made things so technical now with the computers and stuff in them that you got to have a $75,000 code reader to be able to get most of your codes off of these new cars, which is ridiculous. What are they saying?
Okay, go to another.
Go to another one? Okay. Let's say a Sawzall. I have 2. I have the cordless Ryobi, and I also have a corded Craftsman that I've had since before her. That's no surprise. I haven't seen a lot of the
Milwaukee
from back in the day. They were a beast back in the day. I haven't
Porter Cable.
heard. That's a good one too. How many people do woodworking in here? Raise your hand. I know Daniel at Go for Green does.
Everybody's got their hand up.
Everybody got their hand up?
Yeah, Go for Green.
Really?
Wayne says I want to, but I don't have the place to do it. Karen said hubby's a builder, but he also just went to bed.
Okay.
Scratchmate said we're cutting down trees. Does that qualify?
I watched a video on YouTube on how to make a sawmill out of half of a golf cart and some I can't remember the name of the steel now. The little 45-degree angled steel. Angle iron. You knew it kind of me. Angle iron. Which is kind of cool, so I'm trying to get my pops to hook me up with a golf cart from the golf course, so that way I can just try to make my own. But anyway. Okay, with you woodworkers in there, let's go with a router. I use a Ryobi corded router. What do you guys use? Do.
Electric golf cart should not be too hard.
No, it looks simple. It's like it's really only the front part and with the transmission and the back axle, and then the front, of course, the front axle, and then you take a big bandsaw blade or a sawmill blade, wrap it around the tires, make the stand with an angle iron, and you need some rollers, and just roll it. And instead of using the gas pedal to power the motor with the tranny, you can use he fabricated it with the motorcycle wing. That.
They're all across the board on this one. DeWalt, Ryobi, Porter Cable, Makita, Black & Decker, Porter Cable plunge cut.
How do you like that Porter Cable? Because I know, I don't know if you guys know this YouTube channel or not, but Steve Ramsey for Woodworking for Mere Mortals. The man is awesome. I swear he was probably an old high school shop teacher that just got fed up and stepped out here to started doing it on YouTube. He uses the Porter Cable because he did a funny thing when Porter Cable sent him a new router. The video was hilarious about product placement, but he uses one and he seems to enjoy it. I was curious with you guys. Do you guys like the Porter Cable router as well?
Teresa said, "Hey, I took high school shop."
Look, I took high school shop too. I still have, I think it was supposed to be a paper holder or something. But it's hanging on the wall by the front door and we throw our keys in it.
Doc Kozlowski says, "I like my PC router." Which is funny because if you just jumped in on this conversation, you would have thought we're talking about computers. Sorry.
How many of you guys have built your own router table? And if you did, where did you get the plans? Because I want to build mine. Because I'm making the...
Paratrooper, you were so right. He said it just occurred to me how much free advertising these companies are getting right now. That's a good point.
You know, I didn't think about that. It's alright.
Grandpa's farmstead, he made his own. Made my own, no plans.
With no plans.
Yeah.
That's not good. Well, then send me the plans to yours.
JS Farms 2004 said hubby built his own.
I like the one that Steve did with the clamp and stuff, but I just can't find. He says he's got free plans, but I can't find his plans.
Wheatree says Homesteadonomics. Joe has a nice one.
I know he's got a very awesome workbench table that I think he has set up for his table saw. I haven't seen his router table, so I'm gonna have to go back through and look. Was it? Are we talking about the same table, maybe? Because if so, I'm going to have to hit him up for the plans.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, we want to be able to build a bunch of stuff, too. That's why we're...
See, I'm turning my my shop right now. My big shop is a catch-all. Right now, it's my skinning shed. It's my shop to work on cars. It's my woodworking shop. It's my blacksmith shop. It's my metalworking shop.
It's where we keep the chicks during the winter.
Yeah, it's where my incubator is. It's where my brooder box is. It's where we keep all the milking equipment right now, and it's.
But it's a huge building. Like if you've never seen.
It's bigger than the double wide we used to live in before we moved here.
Yeah.
Probably bigger than the house we live in now. But my son took over one of the lofts. That's his fortress of solitude. But I want to branch out. I'm going to build me a blacksmith shop. I'm going to build me a skinning shed. And I'm going to build the milking barn. And so that I'm going to keep that one as my place where I got to change oil in Mama's car, my trucks, and the woodworking shop. So.
Okay, you got about 9 minutes.
To what, you leave?
No.
I'm wide awake, so we're supposed to stop at 11. But if you guys want to keep going, I'll do a Q&A like we do on Mondays because unfortunately, I'm wired.
Winter bass is funny. I suck at measuring. That's why I can't follow patterns when sewing. I tried to make a cloak. It turned into a pillowcase. Lord knows what I would do with wood. Okay, let's see.
So there's 97 folks.
Kitty said 3 hours tonight.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. We got about 10 minutes before we're supposed to get off. How many of you guys want to keep going? Throw your hands up, and we'll keep going for a little while. Because, like I said,
Amanda and
well, look, I know Amanda, Wayne, Bumblebee,
Jason, and you always say it's us that keep you on. Sammy Joe.
Well, it is.
Kitty, I'm all for it. Weed Tree Bonsai, go. Palmetto Palmer, or Paratrooper, yes, keep on going, go for it. Don't be scared, go, go, go. Sounds like you're going to be out here for a little while. Well, I have to be up early, so I'll be out of here at 11. I really shouldn't have even been in here this late, but...
Well, you're addicted to this live stream thing.
I really enjoy it. It's like, I mean...
You're like, we got friends.
yeah, we have friends. Well, and I'm sure you can all really... Wayne said, I've got my hands in the air like I just don't care. Yeah, drug of choice, Bigbear Homestead, him and his tacos. Okay. Grandpa said Robin is leaving, I'm gone.
Oh, that's how it's gonna be, huh?
Well, what I was getting ready to say is that when you live on a homestead, there are a lot of things that can alienate you from people who are not homesteaders. And
like cow poop.
Well, like, coming into their house with chicken crap on your boots and having to leave the boots at the door, it's just stuff like that, or there were several times where we milk our cow twice a day, and we would have to stop everything at like 6:30 and go home and milk and then come back, or just not come back. Yankee 4, you can go to the bathroom if you need to take a potty break. But anyway, so there's a lot of times where you can be kind of pushed off to the side because, people think you're crazy for homesteading, or they think you're paranoid, or whatever thing they can come up with. And then there are things that you find way more important than just sitting around drinking a beer or playing a video game or watching a movie.
Or chasing Pokemon.
Yeah, and...
I mean, I know that Tommy was talking about how he likes to chase Pokemon tonight. But uh-oh. Here comes some trouble in the door right now.
Nice. Grandpa's farm, take the PC with you. That's what I do. I get Wi-Fi in the outhouse. The oily brat. They're like her shirts and shoes required. Well, the River says, I hope bras aren't.
Who said about the bras?
Oily prepper. Are you serious? What are you doing?
What?
No, her. She's pushing me.
What? Don't be rude. Don't be rude to your
Good night, Bumblebee.
Night, Bumblebee.
How many people in here own a Fat Max tape measure?
I've never heard of it.
Yep, the little minions are breaking in just to say hi because they're getting ready to go to bed. Oh, you're not leaving. You were telling me goodnight, weren't you? That's what I thought. I thought I missed something, but I didn't miss anything. You were just telling me goodnight.
Robin made this too.
Yeah, but nobody's impressed with that. There's a lot of crochet people in here. Everybody likes to crochet. So, I'm not... I don't brag about that stuff.
I made that.
Okay.
What did you make?
Simply Circus. Kids just walked in to say they've been watching this feed in their room. Pork Chop says, sup, Squash.
Sup, Chop.
Okay, there's a lot of people that have Fat Max whatever that is. Palmetto Paratrooper, can you tell us what Fat Max, what makes it good? Kara, you need to learn how to do it with a needle, with a crochet needle. It's a lot more fun. Everybody says love my Fat Max. Okay.
Mommy.
Fat Max measuring tape. I would crochet my hands that hurt. You know, Oily Prepper, I use a specific type of needle that helps with that because I get arthritis. They're ergonomic and they have like a handle on them that makes it a lot easier for me to do. a lot easier
for all of us to do crochet.
And it's even good for the girls with their small hands. It's easier for them to use. Can I have that back? Stop being so obnoxious. So.
And you can also use the crochet needles to get off your pot holder loops. We just found that out today.
I don't think they heard you, Chunky, because you're not in the camera. Speak up.
You can also use them to loom off your pot holder.
Loom off your pot holder? How do you
What
loom?
number is that? It is a J, 5.75 millimeters.
Show about tools.
I love this thing. And I have a bunch of them. Yeah, Walmart carries them. Joann's has them. Hobby Lobby. I mean, they're everywhere. But these work so well.
Excuse me, Mommy.
Kitchen all done?
Yes, sir. That's what Mother
Outstanding.
made us do before.
But I get really bad arthritis in my hands. So, they work really well. And they do work really good for, they work really good for pot holders. Bye, baby. Mommy will be in
My
just
hair
a
looks
minute.
so good on camera.
You're not narcissistic at all, are you?
That's your child.
See ya.
Yeah, I don't have any with numbers. Mine are all letters, so.
It's because she doesn't know how to count.
Yeah, Kara, I do too. I work on a computer most of my day, so.
I guess this still fits underneath the tool subject.
And Teresa, I haven't done doilies. I would love to be able to try them, but I imagine that my
Doily, that's the thing that your grandmother used to keep and put her lamps on and all the little
it
fur things.
almost looks like lace, but I imagine that my patience level would not be all that great. I love to be able to do like I like to be able to do small projects that take me maybe 15 or 20 minutes. So, but anyway, all right. Well, I'm getting ready to go so you guys can talk more about.
Man tools or whatever.
Yeah, they're ready to start talking about tools again. Yeah, I'm with you, Kitty. I have no patience. I can't do this stuff. So. All right. Well, y'all have a good night. Have a good week next week. We'll see you on Tuesday, or I'll see you on Tuesday.
At 8 p.m.
8 p.m. 7 Central. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Give me a kiss. Love you.
Love you too.
Okay. I love
Now
you.
she's gonna go in and stalk us from inside. Even though her Chromebook is out here.
Yes, Kara. We're gonna be on Tuesdays instead of Mondays. Yes, it's a permanent change. All right.
Night, Robin. Night, Robin.
Good night, Robin. Good night, Robin.
Grandpa wants to know where's his kiss.
You ready to catch it?
It's a lot politer than what I would have said. He doesn't never ask me for a kiss.
Well, I'm better looking than you.
Uh-huh. Okay. 7 Central. 8 8. It's Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. What y'all LOLing about? What joke? Did I miss a joke? What y'all LOLing about? Oh, I see how y'all playing. Uh-huh. Yeah, I know. I think they all went off too. Night, Grandmom's Homestead. It's not that cold in here, Bumblebee. See, here's the thing about my wife. She will complain. She will complain how cold it is in the summertime. But yet, you go to cuddle and you get like a 2nd degree burn because she's so hot. When do I think I'll be back in honey again? Well, I've got to freeze the frames and stuff that I have now and get them ready for next spring. And then I haven't made up my mind if I'm going to order bees or if I'm just going to roll the dice and hope that the county extension agent will send me every bee swarm call he gets this year. That way, with those, with me holding a nuisance wildlife license, I can charge $10, $15, $25, $30 and go pick up the swarms and get them all I want, versus having to pay the $80, $90 it is for a nuke of bees. Teresa, yes, I got them. I looked at them right before I got on here. I'm going to look at them again tomorrow, and you and I will set up a time to Skype or Facebook chat. No, we have not had any Africanized bees this far north. I think we still get too cold for them. Now, here's the funny thing. And this is one of the benefits I get with holding this nuisance wildlife license. You call the Department of Agriculture, even at the University of Georgia, and they will tell you there's not been any cases of Africanized bees in the state. And that is not true. I know of one case in South Georgia where a gentleman was knocking down an old barn or building and it had Africanized bees in it, and he got swarmed before he even touched the building. So, who's leaving? Yes, local bees would be stronger than the ordered bees because they're already climatized to this area, and they would just be a swarm from a hive that was uber strong and raised their number so much that they outgrew the area that they were in. Later, Palmetto. Thanks for coming by. Well, don't be scared to do honeybees because you're in Virginia, right, Teresa? Yep, and they're used to the local palm. Okay, Buzz. Africanized bees are a very aggressive honeybee, and they've come from Africa. They're also known as the killer bees. And what happens is they're so aggressive that you can't even really get within a quarter of a mile of them without them knowing that you're there. And what happens is if one stings you, it sends off that pheromone, and they will empty the hive and come there and swarm on you. That's where they get the name the killer bees. You don't have anything to worry about. You get way too cold for the Africanized honeybee up there. If you get snow, you really don't have to worry about it unless they mutate again, and then maybe. But right now, they're staying along Texas, Louisiana, Florida, South Georgia, down in there where they rarely ever get that cold enough to get snow. But they're very deadly. Yeah, they got free in Mexico. Yeah. And you can tell they are, I mean, you have to look underneath the microscope, but they are a little bit larger than your honeybees, and the queen is a lot larger than the queen that you get in a regular hive. But if you're keeping bees and you do get your bee colony goes Africanized, meaning that your queen, when she flew out to mate that year, she mated with an Africanized drone, and it started the process, then all you have to do, your bee suit is still fine. All you have to do is go into your hive, find that queen, kill it, introduce a new queen. You may have to do it a couple of times. Introduce a new queen, and then within 2 or 3 weeks, your hive will be back to normal. Because keep in mind, your lifespan of your honeybee is only approximately 2 to 3 weeks long. From the time that it hatches out of the egg through the larva stage, all the way through to when it ends as a worker bee going out and foraging. Because they go through phases. You've got your egg, larva, and then when it hatches to an adult honeybee, that bee's first job is housekeeping. It will turn around, it will clean its cell, it'll go around and start cleaning cells. And then it'll go to taking care of the queen. And then it goes to becoming a guard. Then it goes to being a forager, where your basic, where everybody that knows is a worker bee that flies out, collects everything, and comes back. That when it's at that stage, it's near the end of its life cycle. And what they try, and the reason why they do it that way, is in hopes that that bee will die out away from the hive, instead of back here where the house cleaning bees have to drag it out and pull it out. Yeah, a hive will not produce. Look, the only way that a hive, is it true that the darker the bee, the more aggressive? I have never heard that. Now, the only true aggressiveness I've ever had is from catching wild swarms, and they just had to get used to me coming out there and messing with their hive. Once they kind of got used to me, like, oh, the fat guy's here again, he's gonna play around with some stuff, you know, they quit buzzing by me and slapping on the bee suit. Because remember, they really don't want to sting you, because if they sting you, they die. They know that, so they're going to do a lot of intimidation tactics. They will buzz by. They will literally just slam into you. They do all kinds of things. But can you have bees if you're not after honey? Yeah, but you're still going to have to do some maintenance. You're going to have to go out there and each spring flip your deep super, so that way your bees have more stuff to build on and use, because the honeybee always goes up. Because when you're in a hive, think about a hive. You've got, hold on, let's do it like this. Let me move Mama's chair. Alright, can you guys see the whiteboard okay? Give me a hands up if you can see the whiteboard okay. Alright. Okay. You've got your bottom tray on your beehive. Okay? And you usually have a little landing strip right here. Okay? This is your bottom board. Matter of fact, it's probably not even that. You got your bottom board. Let's just go right there. This is the board that your beehives sit on. Okay? Can't see the marker. Okay. Let me switch colors. Well, you guys can't see that color either, can you? Can you see that color? Probably not. Let me try and move it. Here's the angle. Okay. Give me just a second. Moving the camera. Much better. All right, let me get resituated here. Now, dadgummit. Okay. You better, you bet. Okay, is that better? Can y'all see the... Can y'all read that? Okay. All right, so y'all can read it. Good. All right. On your normal honeybee okay, on your normal honeybee setup, you have your bottom board. It's usually a very thin board. It's just for your hives to sit on. Yes, you'll be handsome if you eat a lot of tacos. Okay, now on top of that board, you're going to put it deep. Now that box is going to be significantly bigger. Now you can use You can use an 8 frame or 10 frame. It really doesn't matter. Okay? That's probably not big enough for y'all. Hold on. Let me make it bigger. Okay, that's your bottom board. And then here's your top board. Or your first deep super. Okay? This one is going to be a lot larger. Look, well, y'all focus on what I'm teaching, not my drawing. Okay? Now you'll have frames in here. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's 10 frames, or 8 frames. Okay? Now when you first put your bees in, then you'll put a top on this, you'll put your inner cover on and your top on it, and you want to leave them alone. Now, you'll dump your bees in here from your nuke, whether you go out and you catch a wild swarm or if you buy them. You'll dump your bees in here. Your bees will build in the center first. That's just the way that God made them. So what you're going to have to do is in about 2 weeks, you come in and you do a check. 1, you want to make sure that they stayed. 2, you want to make sure that they're working and building and everything. Side note, if you don't have a good what they call flow going on at this time, you're going to want to feed them. Whether it's a top feeder, I don't use a top feeder, I use an entrance feeder. Okay? Also during this time, you're going to want to put in what's called an entrance reducer. I showed this on the Killer on the Homestead video. Now, what you do, just like what I said in the Killer video, is after 2 weeks, you come and this frame and this frame will probably be completely built on both sides. Then you take those 2 frames and you bring them to the outermost frame and you swap them. And you just basically take these 2 full ones, bring them out here, and push everybody else in. That's going to encourage the bees to build throughout this entire hive body, and that's what you want. Now, once they get this entire hive body built, again, this is just my opinion. Some guys go right ahead and put a super on top. I don't. I bring in another deep hive body. Okay? And that one, at least for me, is another 10 framer. Okay, so you got your 10 frames right there. And then I do the same thing. I put my inner cover on and then my top cover. I keep my entrance reducer. Once she's got all this filled up, they'll start coming up here and then they start building on this. And then you do the same thing again. You wait a couple of weeks, you come in and you start moving your hives. Now, you do this about every 2 weeks until that whole hive body is full. And they've worked it all. Then, once that happens, then you can come in with a honey super, which is a smaller box. And it'll sit up there like that. Now, the frames of a honey super are not as long as the frames in your deep. And they should, it depends, if you're using an 8, it'll be an 8. If you're using a 10, it'll be a 10. Okay? Now, before you put this puppy on, it's completely up to you. I highly suggest it, but you're going to want to put on what's called a queen excluder, which means it's basically no more than like a flat, it almost looks like the inner cover. It's just a flat piece of plastic or metal, whatever which one you decide to buy. And the holes in it are just big enough so that way worker bees can come in and out, but it's too small for the queen to be able to move, because the queen honeybee is bigger than your regular worker bee. Now once you do that, this the orange one, this is the only one you rob from then. You only rob from that one. You leave these alone. You don't touch them. Except for every spring when you rotate them. Because the biology of a bee is they always build up. So during the winter time, you'll remove your honey super. Your honey super will be gone. Take the queen excluder, and then you just have your two deeps. Okay? And this is why you don't touch those two. Because if you do, then you're going to have to feed your bees all winter. Because in these frames right here, there's going to be a mixture of brood, pollen, and honey. And what your bees will do is they'll get into a cluster about the size of a basketball in diameter. And, well, really not as big as a basketball, more like kind of maybe like a deflated basketball. But it's a big cluster anyway. And they will move along each frame as the winter goes along. Their whole purpose in life is all the worker bees in there, they're not going out foraging anymore. Their whole purpose in life is to sit there and fluctuate their wings and their body back and forth to create heat. So it keeps the queen warm, because she's basically buried in there. And then they're just moving along your frames, eating the honey, eating the pollen. Everybody's getting their fill. Then in the springtime, if her egg production has dropped, that's when your worker bees will develop what's called a queen cell. Now the queen cell looks almost like a peanut. Let's pretend that this is a frame. Okay? That's one of the frames that sit down inside your deep. Okay? And all through and in here, you've got pollen, honey, brood, blah, blah, blah. They will take one cell. Usually, at least with my experience, it's always been either in the middle or near the bottom of the frame. So like in here or right here. And they'll build what is called a queen cell. Now I'm going to use the green because it shows up better. It builds down and it drops down like that. Okay? It's the only cell that they make. They don't make drone cells that look like that. That is a queen cell. It looks like a peanut just hanging there. Now what will happen is they'll put 10, 15 of these all through the hive. And then whatever which one hatches first, she goes around and she'll kill the other cells. Okay? And then her and the old queen, they'll face off. they'll do a little dance. Like the old queen's like, I really don't want to go, and the new queen's like, well, you gotta go because you become a slacker and blah blah blah. And then the old queen will leave. She'll take about a quarter of the hive with her. Now, if you're lucky, you can catch this swarm and put it in a new hive body. Now, if you catch that swarm, put it in a new hive body, they will really, really quick, they will build, they'll build up the frames, okay, and they'll build new cells, and they'll automatically make a queen cell. Okay. Then what happens is when that new queen hatches from the swarm, she goes and she kills the old queen. And then they drag her out. And then she flies out and they mate, and the whole process starts all over again. But the main reason for flipping those, okay, is to keep your bees to where they feel like they've got plenty of room to build. Because if not, they'll swarm 2 or 3, 4 times on you, just getting out and leaving, because they feel like their hive has become too large for the area. So as long as you keep flipping them, they'll be good, because they won't go back down to the bottom. That bottom's just kind of hanging out there. They'll travel it, and and they'll have old pollen and old honey and stuff like that in there that they'll go and eat from, but necessarily they really don't build that much new stuff in it. Okay, so did I answer your question? I even forgot who asked that question. Awesome. Anybody else got any questions for us to use the whiteboard before I move everything back? I got absolutely no problem doing that. I like doing that for you guys. So if you guys got any type of questions like that with trapping, bees, or whatever, what y'all talking about with the grocery store? Pictionary. No, I ain't playing Pictionary. Now, all the honey that we sell is what they call raw wildflower honey. Okay, I asked about touching the bottom boxes to check for wax moths. Yes, you can do that. You definitely. Now, if your hive is strong, you don't ever have to worry about it. See, my case was, my hive wasn't that strong, but I made the mistake because I thought it was stronger than what it was, and then I added a new hive body that I didn't overwinter correctly, because I figured it was new lumber and it didn't have the opportunity to get anything like that near it. But needless to say, I found out that he used old lumber. So oh, see, everybody got jokes. Believe it or not, Arnie, yeah, you can say that the queen is lazy, but the real lazy ones are the males in a honeybee hive, because all the drones do is they are made, then they just sit around, eat honey, and then they go out for like 2 or 3 days to mate, and the ones that come back sit around, and right about probably within the next month or so here, the workers will start killing the drones and taking them out of the beehive. Now, here's a fun fact for all you ladies. When a drone, the male honeybee, mates with the queen, after the mating process is done, before they separate, he explodes. Yeah. He blows up and dies. Do hives do better in the wild or in a box? I think that we have come so far in beekeeping since the ancient Egyptians used to keep bees that I think it's a 50-50 split. In the wild, they're succumb to it if they get the mites, then they've got to battle it on their own. If they get small hive beetles, they got to battle it on their own. If they get wax moths, they got to battle them on their own. When they're in hive bodies and boxes, you've got the human element that will aid them in their time of need. Plus, we also feed them. But at the same point, you've got some beekeepers out there that just over chemicalized everything, and then they make that hive weaker because the bees aren't allowed to be bees. Preference and type of honeybee, I hear 2 mentioned. Yankee 4, I'll get to you next. I just saw you after I read hers. If you order your bees, I would go with the Italian because they've always seemed to be more gentle, less aggressive. With the wild, you get what you get. There's the Italian, the German. I think there's a British honeybee. So there's like 3 or 4 of them out there that you can choose from when you're ordering your bees. But the one that's been here in America most has been the Italian, and they've been used so much because of how docile they are. Okay. Yankee 4 asked where that coon cuff, where do I get it? There's only, in my opinion, now, this is my opinion, there's only really two trapping companies that you should even bother with. And that's Minnesota Trapline and FNT. Minnesota Trapline, if you're a vet, you go in there, you tell them you're a vet, they'll also send you a free t-shirt. They have tremendous, great customer service. We ran into an issue with them one time, and it was quick. I mean, they fixed it just like that. They were very apologetic. Come to find out, the customer service rep that we were talking to was going through a really hard time, and they told him to take the day off from work because of it, and blah, blah, blah. But they fixed it, and they went above and beyond when they fixed it. FNT is kind of the new guy on the block. His customer service is getting right up there with it. Most of the time, their prices are like this. FNT, sometimes with some things, they are a couple of bucks cheaper. And sometimes when Minnesota doesn't have it, he does. So those are the only 2 that I really recommend. Would a more aggressive bee be better against a wax moth? You would think so, but mine were from a wild swarm. Now, granted, I've had that bee colony for 6-7 years, and so they've been domesticated, and so they might have gotten soft. But what I mean by aggressiveness, I'm talking about when you go to enter the hive. Honeybees will get used to you, and then they'll kind of just ignore you like you're part of everyday life. So, hey, what's going on, Nelson Homestead? Well, thank you, Kathy. I appreciate it. I hope you subscribed. It's the first time I've recognized your name. About what cost does it take to start a beehive? That's a great question, Teresa, and it varies. If you've got a decent carpenter around your area, get him to build your hive bodies and your frames. Just getting to make sure he stays in with the frames. Let me back up. If you're going to use the beeswax inserts, the plastic inserts, get him to stay within that range with your frames. If you're just going to run the wire up and down the frames, and he can make the frames any size you want. I personally prefer the beeswax inserts the plastic inserts that you pop in the frame, because it makes it just a little bit more sturdy when Mama's in there popping it. Because I think you guys have seen the honey extracting video, and so she puts a little bit of pressure on there when she's popping. Good night, Hydro Joe. Good night, Oily. So, you get in to make that. I got a guy here locally that built mine, and he built me 2 deeps, a bottom board with a lander on it, the inner cover, the outer cover, frames, and like 2 or 3 supers, and it only cost me like $90. There's no way that you'll be able to order that amount and get that much out of $90. Now, he used more of a pine than a hardwood, which may have been the reason why I've gotten wax moss and didn't know it, because pine is a softer wood and they were able to burrow in. But I learned that lesson. Those are going in the freezer for the 2 weeks, and that'll kill anything that's in that wood. But the real expense, believe it or not, comes from your nuke of bees. It wasn't 4 or 5 years ago, a nuke of bees was $30, $40. Then they jumped to $60. Now, rumor has it, they're almost $100 by themselves. Here's another quick tip. If you're thinking about just getting into bees, Google your area to see if there's a beekeeping association. If there is, join it. You may have guys in there that are beekeepers in there that are getting old that want to start thinning down their hives. You might get a whole setup for a couple $100. Bees, it's already established, and then he'll transfer it at night from his place to yours. That's a great find if you can find that. And a lot of those guys in the beekeepers associations, they'll bend over backwards to help you, and some of them even have a honey extractor that it's just for their members that goes around from beekeeper to beekeeper, because the honey extractor was expensive. Ours is a hand crank, and it cost us almost $12 or $1,300 when we bought it. Yeah. Donna, that would be a good place to go. Thanks, Kathy. That's a good question, Bumblebee, and I don't know if there's that much of a size difference, but the only problem when you do that is if they want to swarm, and they're going to swarm. They will literally keep that queen down there by that entrance, and they will starve her until she can fit through there and then swarms. Because they have what they call a swarm stopper that fits over your entrance hole that the workers can come through, but the queen can't get through. And what they end up doing is starving her down until she can fit through and then take her out. No, what happens is okay, when you pull your frames out, and Teresa, please go to watch what I'm getting ready to talk about. We made a honey extracting video, and you'll be able to see it in detail. What you do is you take your frames, and your honey is covered with a wax cap. So some guys use a heated knife and cut the caps off. We have just a regular old one that's not heated, but my wife doesn't really like that one as much as she likes the one that looks like a pick, a hair pick, and she just pops them off. And then it sits down into a honey extractor, which they use centrifugal force, where you put 2 or 3 frames in there and it spins really fast, and then the honey slings out of the cells. And you're not damaging the wax that the bees have made and the cells that the bees have made. You're just using that force, and it throws the honey out against the side. The hive bodies themselves, they don't really have any honey residue on them. They'll have that populus, the bee glue, and then they'll have some beeswax on it, but they usually don't have any honey residue on it. And you put the frames back in there, and then you put it back on top of your hive, depending on time of the year. Now, what you do then with the extractor is when you open up the valve and all the honey runs into your second filter of the bucket, where that's just there to catch any wax that fell off of the hive. You can then take a spatula and scrape down that and push it all out. But then what we do is I take the extractor back outside to where the bees are, and then the bees will clean up any of the honey residue that's left in there. Nightweed. Nightweed tree. What was an accident? That's a good question. What is that? Gray's 270? What are y'all talking about? Oh, y'all want me to, Okay, so are we done with this? Are we done for this? With this? Don't know. Y'all are funny. Alright. Well, I reserve the right to come back to the... Can y'all see me now? I reserve the right. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, good. Both of those are really good questions. I'm going to answer Donna's first. Donna, yes, there is a risk. You can try and talk to your neighbor and say, look, dude, I'm fixing to get some honeybees. Can you please not spray them? But in all honesty, you really don't know what your bees are getting into, because they will travel at sometimes a minimum of 50 miles away from that hive when they're out there foraging. Now, as a beekeeper, you can do your best to try to keep them closer to home by planting different honeybee attracted flowers and stuff like that, and with your garden, that'll help keep them closer to home. But the problem is, unless you've got a bunch of stuff that is pollinating and is open flowered, and you got a flow going all the time, while it's above like 55 degrees, I think it is, they're going to be out and flying, and so they're going to be looking, and they'll travel 50, 60, 70 miles radius from that hive to find. So your neighbor, yeah, you can tell them that you're going to be raising bees and that you want to try to keep things down chemical wise, but in all honesty, you can't. That's why I always argue, you can't tell me that you're selling organic honey, because the guy 5 miles down the road could be having True Green come out and spray all of his grass with stuff, and when that grass pollinates, or the clover or the whatever in his yard flowers, and that bee hits that, they're bringing that chemical home with them. So now, somebody asked, I forget who it was, do I have any trouble with raccoons getting in the hive? I have not yet, but I'm a trapper, so during trapping season, I'm keeping my raccoon population, my possum population, my fox population, my coyote population, I'm keeping all of that in check, because when trapping season starts, I start right here on my homestead, and I'll trap my homestead for about a week, and then I start branching out in my area. I don't really have to travel that far anymore to do some trapping, so I keep it all in check. So could you have problems with them? Yes, you could, just like with mice, possums, skunks, and of course bears. Yes, you could have a problem with all of those guys. But I don't know if any of y'all watched Tommy's stuff. One of the cool things that he did was he just put a ratchet strap over them and ratchet strapped them to the table that he made for them. So that helped. How far from your home would you recommend keeping the hive? That really depends on you. I have found at our old homestead, my hives were maybe 25 feet off the back door. Now, at this homestead, they're on the other side of my shop. That really depends on you and how much space you have. I know people with a quarter of an acre, they go right to their very back corner and they place them there. So that depends on your comfort level. The only way that you're going to get stung by the honeybees is an accidental sting when you get in their flight path. And if you stand back and you watch your beehive, it'll remind you of an airport, is what it'll remind you, because you'll have them coming in from all different directions when they land, and they do their dance, and they tell the other bees, yo, you know, Mrs. Smith has got all these hydrangeas out, yo, and they're, you know, and it's 27 clicks this way. You know, so it all depends on you. If you're worried about getting stung and stuff, you can face the entrance of the hive a different way. Because see, what they do every morning is when they come out of the hive, they do kind of like a cyclone. And what they're doing is they're orientating themselves where their hive is compared to trees and different things in that area. And then they take off to where they need to go. Now, Kitty's Homestead asks, can you put your hive up on a stand, or does it have to be on the ground? I use a stand, and I use the 8-inch cinder blocks, and I go 2-3 high, and then I put 2x6s across them. I make a big long stand. And the reason why I do that is that elevates them up to where a skunk or a coon may just walk right past it at night. They may or may not. But at least for a skunk, they're not really going to bother with it, because if they just go up in the front, your average skunk's not going to be that tall, and they're not going to be able to then get in my beehive. Because you got to remember now, once you go up that high, then you go up to 2x6, and then you put your bottom board on, and then your hive, that adds some decent height off of the ground that your critter's really going to have to work at. And now for a coon, that still won't be no problem, because he's a better climber than a skunk. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Your bear would definitely go after him. The cedar, I don't know. That's my thing. I've never, and I'm sorry about that, Grizz. I thought I did. I don't know if it is. I've never run across one that's been made out of cedar. I don't know if that would hurt, if that would repel the bees themselves. That's a good question. I'll look it up and see if I can have you that answer on Tuesday. Okay, did I miss anybody's question yet? Because it's just me out here, so y'all might have to type your question 2 or 3 times. And I do apologize about not answering that question right away, Grizz. Just went off on a squirrel. Sorry about that. Sleepy time, brother. Will you take this with you, please, sir? And your mom's glass. Yes, thank you, sir. A gentleman and a scholar. Well, thank you, Teresa. Arnie, that's a good question. Here, where I am, no. I haven't heard of anybody having to do that. If anybody knows that answer about having to register your hives with your county or your state in your area, please chime in, but I have not heard of it, and we don't have to do that either. Good night, Winter Bass. Are there any plans? That's a good question, Grizz, that you don't have to pay for. I'm going to be looking myself because I want to build my own. And if I've got to make the plans myself, hit me with a message with an email address to send to you. Because if I can't find them, I'll draw them up from the hives that I've got, and I'll shoot them to you. What's my favorite thing to hunt? Yankee 4 asks. I guess I'd have to say small game. The reason being is right now my girls are at that age that we get to go out with the single shot 20 gauge junior shotgun, and I get to watch them hunt. I've got a lot of things on my bucket list that I want to hunt, just like there's some things on my bucket list I want the opportunity to trap. I don't know if I'll ever get them because of the area that we live in, but so right now it's a small game with my girls. Okay, somebody said something about vinegar. Kitty, what are you talking about? Good night, Kiwi. Sugar ants. Sugar ants. Oh. What's going on, Grandpa? Ooh. Do you have any essential oils, Kitty? Hi, Grandpa. Did you miss me? Do you have peppermint? You have peppermint essential oil? Yeah, I'm the same way, Simply Circus. I don't know if the peppermint extract would work as much as the essential oil. Send me a message with your address. I'll get you a little small bottle of peppermint essential oil. I'll get Robin to give you up a little trial bottle. Then that way, if that works, then you can just, if you want to buy it from Robin, that's cool. If not, get it from somebody local. But we use doTERRA, and doTERRA's more potent with their essential oil than anybody that I know of. Are y'all talking about me finally getting tired? We use doTERRA and peppermint. We had issues with those stinking little black ants in some of our raised beds, not this year but last year. And I just went out every day with some peppermint oil mixed with water in a spray bottle, and I just sprayed tar fire out of them, and they ran like roaches when the lights came on. They just couldn't stand it. I literally had to go from box to box because they would just keep on going down the boxes. Just like if you plant peppermint in that raised bed or around that area where you're having them, they'll take off. No, I'm not in Big Bear County, California. I'm in Elbert County, Georgia. What motivated my time slot change? The new, I can't remember their name right now that he just announced. I'm feeling so bad. The new channel that came in on Monday at 8. That was the only time slot that they could do. So we just moved to Tuesday at 8. We're a team player. You know, we've got our Friday show at 8. And you guys asked for us to do a second show during the week. You know, we'll go anytime that we can do it. I don't want to do Thursday then Friday, but if that's what the Homestead Network needs, then that's what we'll do. So, Freedom Acres, that's right, Freedom Acres. And now, good old Grandpa's going to be coming on Thursdays too, huh? So we all get to go over there and mess with Grandpa in his chat room. It's either Freedom Acres or Freedom Farms. Definitely Yankee 4. You're not that far from us. How far are you from Anderson, South Carolina? They came on. Big Family was on. Yeah, I'm excited to hear Grandpa too. I'm literally 30 minutes from there, brother. I think your very first one, now this is just me, Grandpa, but I would love to hear your origin story. What made you move to Alaska, and what's life like in Alaska? I'd sit and listen to you for hours about Alaska. How often do you just come to Anderson during hunting season, or do you come down here more than that? I think that would be very interesting, Grandpa. The only bad thing is you only got an out. But see, you're the last one on Thursday, so you can run your mouth as long as people will stay in the chat room like I'm doing right now. Well, Donna, I think the way that Brad is trying to set things up, right now you got so much time during the week that he's spreading it out. And now when you get every time slot filled, then obviously some people are going to be able to watch the stuff on Mondays, but are not going to be able to catch the Thursday show. I mean, we understand that. August 15th. I gotta wait till September 11th, man. Yeah. Night, Teresa. Thanks for all your great questions tonight. That was awesome. I ain't even talking to you right now, Yankee. August 15th. The only thing that opens up here on August 15th is squirrels. But you know they still got the lumps on them. And you can't hunt them then. Yeah, I hunt. I killed a huge 8-point. Not last year, but the year before last. Because last year I didn't see a thing. He weighed 167 pounds. Big mature 8-point. Yeah. Yeah, we're allowed 12 deer. 2 bucks, 10 does. Yes, he's on the wall. Night, Cara. Yankee 4, if you find me on Facebook, It's just Jason Rehr on Facebook, REHR. Send me a friend request. I've got some pictures on him in my photos and stuff, I think. If not, I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, Grandpa, but you got caribou, elk, moose. Come on now. But wait a minute, Chris Christie was all over the TV talking about New Jersey's so pro Second Amendment. and I know a politician wouldn't lie. Northwest Arkansas. My wife graduated from the University of Arkansas. Calling the hogs. I bet you can't. Rehr, R-E-H-R. Just send me a message with your name and let me know that you're Yankee 4. How I got into trapping. I must have been 5, 6, and my grandfather was my world. All the way up until I left for the Corps. And he passed away about 5 years ago. And I used to fish with him, hunt with him, and him and I built my very first box rabbit trap. And we lived in Pennsylvania at the time. And I used to go out there and set it with my apples, and it was on the cross trigger. And that's what lit my fire, was going out there and catching the rabbits. And then it went from rabbits to muskrats to coons and possums. And then basically he baby stepped me up all the way. It's the same way I do my girls. And that's where I got my origins from. In the state of Georgia, they just trust us to put out a to print out a deer tag, or not deer tag, but a deer harvest record. To be honest with you, I haven't filled one out in years because I only get 1 or 2, and it's usually on my own property anyway. I wish I could afford to come up there and spend a week with you, Grandpa, during hunting season. I'd knock a lot of things off of my bucket list. A buddy of mine, Simply Circus, was able to pull a permit from the Department of Natural Resources to hunt at night on his soybean fields. And My freezer is now full of deer meat because of that, but it was a couple of weeks ago, it was flat out empty. You do see that on my hat, right, Grandpa? That's a Marine Corps emblem. I can handle it. A Fisher cat. Is that the isn't the Fisher kin to the Wolverine? One deer. Wow. Look at Bumblebee name dropping. Bumblebee name dropping in there. Let me drop this name. Bloop. Nice. Way to go, pork chop. Bumblebee, do you guys have a bear season up there? Alright, y'all, give me just a second. I'm going to turn that AC down. It is starting to get cold in here. That's awesome, Yankee 4. Now you get to go get back in and get some rest. That's awesome to hear. We're going to keep praying, though. I'll trade you in a minute, Grandpa. In a minute, I'll trade. That could be a problem, Donna. It's like 90 here. And it's still hot. We just made it through the storm. Man. Low 60s. Night, Grizza. Pac-Man 1234. How's it going? Pac-Man, you're kind of new. Where are you from, Pac-Man? Ohio. Well, I hope you subscribe to the channel. Oh, he's a troll? How in the world do you make somebody a give them the little wrench? Thank you, Pac-Man. That's why, because it's my... I hate when she do that. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to disappear from the chat room for a second. Making sure y'all ain't looking at my password. I'm trying to get on my live stream. Okay, hold on. I think I might have figured it out. Uh-oh. Haha! Now, let's see if I can do this. Okay. Hover over your name. That's what I'm doing. And it just brings up your little hoo-yah. What would be double trouble? I don't see no thing to the right. I really got to figure this out, guys. Why does it keep doing that? Hey, come here and help me with something. What did you do? Fall asleep while you were making my tea?
No, I was trying to figure out what to make you. I had no more hibiscus left. So I just made you lemon zinger and then overcompensate on the lavender to kill the caffeine in
Oh, okay.
the zinger.
All right. We're signing in to what I got going on, right? Boom.
Right.
My channel.
Mhm.
You can go to videos. Well, I'm viewing as myself, so if I view as a new visitor, now I was looking at it through that. I'm trying to figure out how to make somebody a modulator or
Moderator?
moderator. Yeah.
I
Okay.
think
Like there it is. Boom. Okay. Now. Boom. Boom. Okay.
right.
There it is. All right, y'all. Meet my son. And he's going to help me try to figure out this whole modular thing. Click the 3 dots.
Chat text box. Enter a username.
Ah.
Yeah. See? Boom.
Add remove.
moderators.
Okay, cool.
And you can type in.
Let's go junction J.
NCTIO. Is there spaces in between?
Probably.
Probably in between B and junction. Bumblebee's probably one there.
Bumblebee, say something in the chat box, please.
Capitals.
Ah, okay.
Try clicking it again. Click on the add remove moderators. Add moderator. And nothing.
Okay. Let's go like this real quick. Ah. Put in timeout.
No, don't put Bumblebee in timeout. Bumblebee Junction is now a moderator. There you go.
Where do you see that? Okay. Boom. All right. Where's Kitty?
I love that you can put them in timeout. What is that?
Okay, Kitty and Bumblebee, you guys are now my modulators.
Moderators.
Yeah, what he said.
Modulating is like, you know,
Shut up. Mr. Big SAT scores.
Building up codes.
Well, they could be building up code. I
I
don't know
don't
why.
think they're writing codes for your YouTube chat box.
Why not? It would be fun.
Would it though? Would it really?
I don't know. Okay, everybody, this is my son. You feel okay?
I'm very tired.
Well, go to bed.
Not that tired.
Like, oh, not that tired.
No, I'm so tired that I can't sleep. Regulators mount up. I know cheat code.
His name is Blaze.
Simply Circus. It has a wrench when it should be a hammer. LOL.
He's 17 years old. He's a Pisces.
I'm not a Pisces.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
What are you?
I'm an Aries. You're a Pisces. Because you're at the beginning of March. And 22nd is when Aries starts.
Is that when it starts?
Yeah.
Oh. That'll probably be one of the reasons why we butt heads so much.
Well,
Hello, Blaze.
You're
Hello,
just a
Blaze.
fish. Hello, David Smith.
Who was the troll?
I don't know, but apparently it's been whacked.
Does Blaze trap also?
Yes.
Do you trap also?
I've never caught an also.
You've never.
Never caught an also. But yes, I do trap.
He caught a 75-pound beaver when he. How old were you?
15?
15. Were you that?
14, 15. It was here. It was here, so.
It was a sub what?
Pac-Man was a sub fisher. Hey, Sammy Joe. How do you know who was a troll?
That's a good question, Arnie. Oh, and by the way, y'all, he brought me my tea. So when the cup is empty, we're done.
Oh, yeah, good. Make me the bad guy.
No, they know that.
Yeah, but I'm the one that brought the tea.
But they're used. They trust me. Nobody's gonna kill you.
Okay.
Yeah. By what they post and say.
Blaze is not a troll. Smell of cheese. It's rich.
Blaze is also going to. Well, you tell him what your plans are. Goober?
My plans?
Yeah, for the rest of your life, like getting out of my house.
Ah, those plans. Well, my main plan right now is to graduate high school, and then I plan to enlist in the Marine Corps.
Can y'all hear him with his soft voice? Blaze is the cook.
Blaze is the cook.
Blaze
That's
is
right.
the cook. That's right. I don't know.
Oh, for code. Nice on Yankee 4. See, David Smith can hear me.
So after the Marine Corps, what are you gonna just stay in there forever?
I very well might. it's a possibility. But the plan as of right now is to go into the Marine Corps, and get my schooling done while I'm in, and then also if I don't get it all done while I'm in, than to get it done after I get out. I'm going for a psychology degree so I can go into the FBI as a profiler.
Hoorah, David Smith, Semper Fi. I did not know that about you, sir.
I'll run the clock on the computer backwards for 3 days. We should try that.
Why would we want... Yankee, don't give him any ideas.
When does troll season start? What's the bag limit? Commandeer your tea.
Go ahead, take it, sir. So do you guys have any questions for this young gentleman here tonight with us?
That's a stretch.
You have no idea. Bag and tag.
Bag and tag 'em.
Any new animals getting added to the homestead? Besides when his friends come over? We're probably going to change the breed of sheep that we have. I want to get goats. And that pretty much will max us out then. I mean, we're going to get a bull. And,
Touche, Arthur Leslie. Not currently. He said yes. ... Girlfriend? Not right now.
Had to get rid of the last one.
Yeah. I've made an acquaintance in Texas though. So yeah, that's not going anywhere.
Wow. Good night, Anita.
How do you fend off chiggers? Does tear shell work for chiggers?
I think so. Arnie, what are you talking about hunting day or night?
I think they're still talking about trolls.
Probably. Night, Sammy Joe. Hunting trolls. Like 3 billy goats gruff. Come on, y'all. Y'all better jump on these questions with him. He doesn't like to get in front of a camera.
Not at all.
Usually... okay, I'll give you a fun fact. All of Squash's raps come from this mind right here.
Oh, 2 of them.
I said, hey, just get on the subject and run it.
Trolls are not creatures. Blaze, why the FBI? That's a good one. Grandpa's farm. So back before we were like really heavily homesteading, we would watch at night Criminal Minds, and I fell in love, was fascinated with the way that all worked. I think I have a propensity for the whole serial killer thing. My mom, she enjoyed studying that kind of thing, and so it's kind of rubbed off on me a little bit. So I guess that was probably the inspiration for it, if that answers your question.
What's your inspiration for writing the squash raps? And you can't say me threatening you.
So, those bulldogs. No, I mean, I try to have fun with it, still keeping it educational, but, you know, just, it's not like they're super long, super hard, you know, just sit down. It usually takes me about a day or two to, pump them out, but, I don't know, I mean, it's something I enjoy doing, gives me a chance to kind of cut loose and just put it out there.
Yeah, that whole line about Hillary and the FBI was all from this one. When he said that, I had a mouthful of tea and it went everywhere. You read that?
Yep.
That's cool, Kitty. That's really cool. Kitty, message me when your son's birth. She said she didn't say. When your 4-year-old boy or girl, message me their birthday if you don't mind and your address. We will get them a squash T-shirt for their birthday, and we'll sign it. I'll make him sign it too. Stick to your dreams, Blaze. As long as they pay the bills and you get out of my house.
Yeah. Birthday was last week.
Okay. Send me his shirt size and your address.
That's true, Yankee 4.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for saying that, Yankee 4. We've been having very long discussions about that. All right, cool. Thank you, Katie. Kitty. That's what I said.
I think you guys should go on the road with your act. That would just be dangerous.
Is
Dirt patches, probably.
that a dig dirt patch? Or?
No, probably just seeing if it's the same one circling around our little group.
Maybe.
Just a wonder. He left too quickly.
He knew we were onto him.
Just need to put him in timeout. I didn't know you could put people in timeout.
Yeah, I'm trying to explain to him the importance of it.
It's from schoolwork. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's what we're doing it for.
Yeah.
Night, Arnie.
Night, Arnie. You plan to do any homeschooling or homesteading later in life? Yeah.
Probably not right away. I mean, I don't know. I may mellow out around 60 and go maybe, but not right away.
Thank you, Kitty. Amanda's Garden, you send me your address too and his size.
Favorite animal on the homestead.
I can't. No, his favorite animal on the homestead is the pigs because he rides them.
Yeah.
I've been trying to catch it on video,
Yeah.
but
It's been a while.
he used to ride Obama all the time, and now we got Henry, and Henry's a little bit more rambunctious, let's say. So he can't hold on as long with Henry.
It's just expert mode.
Are you planning on getting into the Cyclops?
I don't know yet. Still figuring all that out. Can he make a 8-second ride? Yes, I have made 8 seconds.
Type out my Facebook. He's trying to find my Facebook. Type out my name on the Facebook. Now, it's not really a blackmail video. It's fun as get it. As all get out.
Ooh,
Good one.
I done broke YouTube.
Go to the Facebook and copy the URL. No, go to yours.
To mine.
Yeah. And then you can go to my page.
Okay.
Come on now, you're supposed to be the...
I,
You're supposed to be the young buck that knows everything.
yeah, okay. Take me for one of
Did
those
you do Control C?
information era people.
I don't know if it'll let you post it in there.
Bow. Just did. Yeah, owners and mods can post direct links.
Learn something new every day.
We have the power. Look, it's 1:45.
Oh.
Cats and dog.
So do y'all have any more questions for the Blaze before I send him in for a nighty night? Oh, that's a picture of a beaver, man.
You look like that on some mornings.
How did you get the name Blaze?
Mom was in class. She knew she wanted to have a bee name. and she was sitting in class, and according to the story, it just came to her. She was just sitting there in class, and it was just poof, blaze. But I love it. I don't know anybody, at least to me, with a cooler name, so.
Do you deer hunt?
No, I don't. I was going to, and then I just didn't. I may try to go this year, but I don't know. I got a lot of schoolwork to finish up before I can graduate, so I'll probably do a lot of that over the winter. Team spin trolls and give them timeouts of double time. Paradise, yeah.
It's my award-winning personality. He can't stay away.
Play.
Okay, sir. It looks like they're done with you.
Yeah.
No, we got about a quarter of a cup left. There's so many ways to go with that, Yankee 4. So many ways.
Oh.
You're a great grandma? Okay.
Probably because you said he.
Oh. Sorry.
Sexist person.
I know. Where are you at in the world? Who was that said that she was a great grandma?
Weed tree.
Bonsai? Weenie? Squat? There's no right way to say that, is there?
No.
We need somebody in your stature for a squash video.
Oh, that wasn't any better.
Well, now she's saying we wet behind the ears. Texas. Yeah, that's a little bit too far for a video.
We can go to Texas. It's cool.
I go to Texas, I wouldn't come back.
I think a trip to Texas is totally rational. It's
Why? Because you don't want me to come back?
What?
You don't want me to come back?
No, I'm trying to go there.
Oh, for that little... There you go, okay.
Blaze have archery skills also. No, my archery skills consist of sitting on the couch and watching Arrow. That's about as far as they go. Yeah, see, Kitty knows.
He wishes that girl was his girlfriend. If it's the one his mom showed me the picture of.
It'll be really bad.
Yeah.
If she's watching this right now.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But see, the thing you gotta remember, it's only like 10:30 there.
Oh, a girl is drawing him to Texas. He's a teenage boy.
Isn't
It'll
that
draw him to Mars.
But isn't that like the most stereotypical country song ever?
Look, every good story starts out with, there was this girl.
Yeah. Run. Ow. That's true, Bumblebee.
What?
This saves as a file she can watch anytime. Ow.
What's her name?
I cannot release that information. as such would be detrimental to my well-being.
No, we don't have a solar power backup yet.
Yet.
Most nightmares too. That's true, simply. Or very expensive dreams. Let's just put it that way.
So there was a butt naked in the mall fountain covered in whipped cream. Oh, now I see why you do this.
With Bumblebee, there is no boring
Yeah.
times.
Oh, man. That's great.
At least he said mine didn't start off with, hey, watch this.
Yeah, or hold my beer.
Yeah.
Yankee 4 says, let him know when you're ready. He's big into solar, as you may or may not.
Oh, we're ready. We just can't afford it right now.
How that scene would unfold. I think
I
we
don't know
all
if you
are.
want to vividly picture that.
None of us do, but we already are.
It's like a...
security guard looking at me like, we are doing this again, are we? That's true, we tree. Down here it starts with, hey, watch this.
They went family friendly right out the window.
Right out the window.
Oh.
That's true, Kitty. None of us chose this. Man.
I guess we're like that. What was it on Cartoon Network? Adult Swim that came on after.
Yeah. This is the PG-13 version of Big Bear Homestead.
Well, it's absolutely funny though. Oh. A good question, Donna. I was just getting ready to ask the same thing.
Prime time was earlier.
I have a question for you guys. Can you guys point us in the right direction? You know those metal, I guess they're metal, that you can put all of the ingredients in to make your own tea?
No idea.
It's kind of like a ball. Yes, you do. We've seen it, and we said we were gonna look for some, and then it just squirrel and got turned away. It's kind of like a metal ball or something that you can open up and you can put the hibiscus and the lavender and all of that stuff in there. A tea ball. Yes. Tea ball. See? Where do you guys get those at? Or a steeper, yeah. Found them at Walmart. Man, y'all must got some of the... We got like the lousiest Walmart in the world.
Yeah. Now, see, when we moved here, we found out that we had 2 Walmarts.
Yeah. Yankee Fork, tea bag. You're funny.
We found out we had 2 Walmarts. We had
Sick him, kitty.
the old Walmart and we had the new Walmart, with the groceries and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
But they don't have any tea balls there. Asian markets.
Okay.
Bumblebee just posted a link.
That's awesome. Because see, he makes some awesome tea with the stuff, but the bad part is when it gets down to the bottom, I gotta brush my teeth afterwards because I get to talking and I forget about it and I'm like, and blammo. I thought we took care of Pac-Man.
Wow, Yankee 4 says has over 500 videos.
Who does?
Yankee 4.
On his solar?
I don't know about if they're all solar, but all kinds of my solar stuff.
All right,
Bye,
Grandpa.
Star.
See ya. Do any of you guys use those T-balls? Oh boy, y'all are just talking off your thing now. Took care of that.
Yeah, look, he got the hammer.
The hammer
God.
got
Like a gavel.
So you use them, Amanda? What are you doing? Love it.
Tea infuser.
Okay. We'll have to look for some of those.
He's been judged and found lacking. In what world could he have beaten us? Mostly in the wintertime. Mine's about 40 years old, so mom's.
Nice.
That's cool. That's cool.
For
Hibiscus
hibiscus
tea.
tea. That's what I'm drinking right now, right?
Yeah, there is hibiscus in it. There's also lemon and lavender and other things as well.
Other things?
Arsenic.
Oh, nice.
It's cool. Pickling spices. Tide power.
I've been on solar all night. We have a...
Screen the bottom, has a valve in the bottom, some pepper in the mud, he pours and strains out the herbs. See, that's what I've been doing, is just using a regular kitchen strainer, but that's obviously not getting everything.
Kitty, your chat room is hard to find. I still have not been able to find it.
Coffee filters are made. Huh.
Alright, cool.
So it's on the Homestead Nation page. So there it is.
Type in Big Bear Homestead. That arsenic you put in there or something, dude.
It's lavender.
Whoop whoop. I'm in the chat room now, yo.
Should be the only one eating, but
Okay. Okay, y'all, my cup is now empty.
you want to move your knee? I think you want me to.
Yes, I do, because that's not comfortable for me.
Let me get my knee out.
Mm-hmm.
How long have we been doing videos?
Since 2011? 2008?
Maybe 2000.
I think when you go to our About page, I think it says we joined in January 2011.
Yeah, I forget. I mean, you could look up our video real quick and see
Yeah.
when our first one was posted. I don't know exactly how long.
Okay, so we will be back Tuesday at 8. And if it's okay with Kitty and Bumblebee and Bonsai, will you guys be the moderators for there? $8 p.m. Eastern.
Hammer time.
Yankee 4 out. You sent me a message, right, with your contact info? Alright, cool. Be there Tuesday for show.
Who hangs up first?
Yeah, definitely. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. Okay, I was just waiting on some answers. So the new monitor should be in tomorrow. We will resume filming for Squash's video and ours. This video this week will be back on the predator control in the homestead. Mice and rats, and then I think Squash's is on a loofah gourd, and we'll be back on track with that. Don't forget to check out the website for the Squash t-shirts. Those now, any of our t-shirts can come in any size, so if you guys, if the wee ones want some of the tasty animal ones, or the no mistake or whatever it's called, namaste, those are there. Mama's got the scrubbies up there, the pot holders. We're constantly adding stuff like that. And don't forget now, I asked y'all in the Killer on the Homestead video, wasn't it, to start the Instagram revolution?
I think so.
I asked y'all on one of the videos to go to Instagram, follow us, and then leave messages to tell Mama to let me be part of Instagram because she's hoarding that one. But y'all hook a brother up. So, alright, y'all. Good night. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a wonderful night, wonderful week. We'll see y'all Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right back here. Night, y'all.